طرق وسط الحياة تاهوا فيها ناس وطرق تبان مفروشة ورد وتنتهي بألم وضيق لكن الطريق للفرحة وطريق الخلاص عند المسيح أصل المسيح هو الحياة هو الطريق 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 الطريق
Welcome to the Way TV. Always glad to be back. Today we're going to be talking about the infiltration of the Muslim Brotherhood not only in the mosques, but actually working with ISIS too. Now, in the state of California where I live, there's about 38 million citizens, and if we extrapolate the 1% of Muslims who pretty much are all in support of the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States, 320 million Americans, 3.2 million of these folks in the United States. In California, 38 million citizens, about 380,000 of these folks from the Middle East who are Muslim Brotherhood, and we're going to show pictures of them. In fact, I have one right now. Here is one of the founding fathers and president of the Muslim Student Association, which is now known as the Islamic Society of North America. His name is Ahmad Sakr. I've met him twice. He lives in California. He introduced and he opened up the pipeline of the Muslim Student Association and the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. In this photograph here, not really professionally done, but you'll get the idea, where all of the black marks, the black dots are, there's 2002 mosques in the United States. And this fellow, again, Ahmad Sakr, is largely responsible for bringing these folks into the United States from the Middle East. He is, in his own words, which I downloaded from his website the other day, and I've met him twice, face to face. While studying in America, he was a founding member and president of the Muslim Student Association of the United States of America and Canada. That is a known Muslim Brotherhood group. It is now known as the Islamic Society of North America, or ISNA, ISNA. And we're going to show clips of Rick Warren and other people addressing Islamic Society of North America and other Muslim Brotherhood associations throughout the state of California in the United States. Dr. Sakr was also a founding member of the World Council of Mosques, whose headquarters in Mecca, that'd be Saudi Arabia. He was the first director and representative of the Muslim World League to the UN. Now, we all know about the Muslim Brotherhood, and I've got photographs in here also of people who are members of Muslim Brotherhood who know Dr. Sakr very well and have worked with them for a long time. And also in their photographs points out that they support ISIS. So with no further ado, we'll go to clip number 13. Very good. That's the Muslim Brotherhood fighting General Sisi, the president of Egypt, going on at this very moment now. Now, the reason I bring that up is the Muslim Brotherhood is not a local group. They are global, and all of the Muslim groups, the Muslim terrorist groups, operate under their umbrella. They began in 1928 in Egypt under a guy named Hassan Banna. And they're a very interesting group. They want to make the Quran, in particular, chapter 8, verse 60 of the Quran, they want to replace the American Constitution with this, which states basically go to war with the people of the United States wherever they are, and to use steeds of war and terrify the people as they do it. If you ever want to watch any of these clips, you can merely go online and type in "What Did Mohammed Do?" number 40, and that will come right up on YouTube. What Did Mohammed Do? number 40. It will come right up on YouTube. That'll take you to my website, and I have hundreds and hundreds of articles that talk about this. This lady, now remember, this gentleman here, Ahmad Sakr, is the founder and past president of the Muslim Student Association, the Muslim Brotherhood group that started all those mosques. This lady here in my hand, Ingrid Mattson, is a past president of the Muslim Brotherhood in the United States, and lo and behold, not too long ago, and we're going to show clips, yeah, if you go to church, if you know Rick Warren, there he is. You can see down here below, Islamic Society of North America, kind of cropped off. But we will show in the clip, he's at the podium, and he's addressing Salam Alaikum, my Muslim Brotherhood, or he says my brothers, that's what it is. But he's addressing the Islamic Society of North America, which is a Muslim Brotherhood group. Clip number 1, we'll start there.
Well, I'd like to thank Sister Huda for giving this nice overview of her reading of women and men's roles in the Quran and the Sunnah. And I'd like to...
And I just introduced that to get the proof that she is past president of the Islamic Society of North America, so everybody knows that. She goes on to use taqiyya, which is Arabic for lying, which is basically like the 6th or 7th. There's only 5 pillars to Islam, but if you get into the reality of it, in fact, if you do get into the reality of it, in reality, the real 5 pillars of Islam are: what did Muhammad do? What did Muhammad do? What did Muhammad do? What did Muhammad do? And what did Muhammad do? And that's why all my YouTube clips are all titled, "What Did Muhammad Do?" with the number. I have 40 on this one here because we have 40 one-hour shows. Now we're on live TV, and it's going to be 30 minutes, which is great. We're reaching out to all of California. If you can go to clip number 8. Clip number, Tamanya, clip number 8.
Forces and support each other. So that, I believe, is a great model for American Muslims as well. I'm very much an admirer of Pastor Warren's organization, and also his great spirit of outreach. He has been someone who has increased his interfaith outreach in the last number of years, and many of us have very much enjoyed his compassion and kindness and wisdom when we've encountered him. So with that, I'd like to invite Reverend Warren to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum. I come to you today deeply humbled and honored by this invitation. I truly mean that.
He's honored and humbled to come and speak to the Muslim Brotherhood. That's who he's talking to. Ingrid Mattson, at that time, was president of the Islamic Society of North America, which grew out of the Muslim Brotherhood group called the Muslim Student Association. That was developed by Dr. Ahmad Sakr. There's over 150 Muslim student associations in the United States. They're on many, many campuses, including USC, UCLA, Cal Berkeley, Stanford, Georgetown, Weber State, University of Arkansas, University of Texas, University of Arizona. It goes on and on and on, the list there. It's all Muslim Brotherhood. Now, this is a very fascinating picture. This gentleman is also huge in the Muslim Brotherhood. and his name is Hussam Aylouch. You'll notice the four fingers. Don't forget the four fingers. That is a symbol for the Muslim Brotherhood. I will show you pictures of the current Prime Minister or President of Turkey, Mr. Erdogan, and he has his four fingers there. The funny little symbol up here means that he supports ISIS, and what was happening is that ISIS, which are Sunnis, have been attacking President Assad in Syria for years, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. And so Hussam Aylouch in this photograph is pointing out that he didn't like it. Didn't want chemical weapons used against ISIS. But of course, we know that that happened. This is a logo of the Muslim Brotherhood. At the top, you have the Quran, and they state they want the Quran to replace the Constitution. At the bottom, you have Surah 860, which means that they want to go out and use steeds of war, tanks, guns, artillery, and terrorize and terrify all of the infidels. In fact, I'll read it to you. The Muslim Brotherhood's most frequently used slogan, and this is according to the BBC, and the British are having a heck of a time with the Muslim Brotherhood there, as well as California is too, and Arizona and Texas. The Brotherhood's most frequently used slogan, according to the BBC, is Islam is the solution. It's real simple. And so what I show you, these pictures of Rick Warren, the solution for the Muslim Brotherhood is not the gospel. The solution for the Muslim Brotherhood is to introduce what did Muhammad do, and that's child molester, murderer, assassin, thug, all-around brigand. Another well-known slogan of the Muslim Brotherhood is God or Allah is our objective, the Prophet Muhammad is our leader, the Quran is our law, jihad is our way. And when they say jihad, they mean one thing. You see the swords? The swords mean that they want to kill us who do resist the Muslim Brotherhood. The Quran is our law, jihad is our way. Dying in the way of God is our highest hope. God is greater, Allah Akbar. So when they say dying in the way of God, Allah is our highest hope, that's because then they automatically get their 72 virgins. On the Brotherhood's green logo is emblazoned and prepare in the Arabic, taken from Surat or from the spoils of war, the 8th chapter, verse 60 of the Quran. According to the academic Khalil Youssef, its motto was traditionally, believers are but brothers. Now, when they had the infidel up there, Rick Warren in front, and he was saying Salam Alaikum, he is being used as a stooge, as a toady, or as Lenin said, he's a moron helping them out. But my brain just went dead on me. In the Quran 860, Yusuf Ali, a useful idiot, that was from Lenin. Yusuf Ali stated in the Quran, against them make ready your strength to utmost of your power, including steeds of war. That would be tanks, artillery, airplanes, machine guns, knives, whatever you can do, to strike tear into the hearts of the enemies, the infidel, of Allah, and your enemies and others besides whom ye may not know, but whom Allah doth know. Whatever ye shall spend in the cause of Allah shall be repaid unto you, and ye shall not be treated unjustly. Now I'm reading directly from the Quran. Again, you go back to the 2002 mosques, they're all funded, almost 100% of them, are funded by the Saudi Arabians, and their goal is not to come here and just, have us buy their gas and oil. Their objective is to take us over. Also, in a different version of the Quran, the same chapter and verse, and prepare against them what force you can, and horses tied at the frontier to frighten them, thereby the enemy of Allah and your enemy and others besides them, whom you do not know, but Allah. Okay, that being said, let's go and take a look at two very huge folks in the state of California who are aiding and abetting the Muslim Brotherhood. Clip number 12.
Yes, thank you all for this wonderful meeting and informational, particularly on the counterterrorism end. My name is Tom Trento, visiting you folks from South Florida. I'm actually in town doing a documentary, doing research on the Muslim Brotherhood's existence and operational activity in Los Angeles County. I'm holding in my hand a book called Sharia, The Threat to America, that was written by 19 national security experts, including many bureau people, agency people, Andy McCarthy, who put the blind sheikh in prison, Jim Woolsey, and myself. I'm one of the authors. My question to the LA Sheriff's Department and to the Bureau: do you believe the Muslim Brotherhood exists in Los Angeles County? And if you do, what are you doing to inform the citizens of the danger of the Muslim Brotherhood?
Thank you. Okay. We actually also have Deputy Chief Michael Downing here with us. He joined us. So, Jeff.
The Muslim Brotherhood, is an organization, a politically active motivation. I'm sure it does exist here in a different form. I think that one of the benefits of what we do in terms of dealing with the motivational aspects of terrorism is to outreach and engage with the community so they don't feel isolated, balkanized, oppressed, and besieged. And our biggest counterterrorism strategy in this community is the partnership that we have with the Muslim communities.
The Brotherhood's very active in this county.
I know the Brotherhood is, but see, one of the responsibilities is for us to see there's different views about the Brotherhood. Albana, who created it, his idea is different than some of the people that are on the fringe of it here. Just like Republicans and Democrats are more conservative and more liberal, that's what we have here. But the message is not to demonize the Brotherhood here, but to create
not to demonize
the Brotherhood, but and we don't necessarily engage.
Okay, now here's a copy of Michael Downing here, the LAPD counterterrorism commander. He goes on further to say that as we as human beings have evolved, so as the Muslim Brotherhood has evolved and gone to some kind of a concept, I can't pronounce it exactly, it doesn't matter, but it means the evolution of the Muslim Brotherhood becoming kinder and gentler, but nothing could be further from the truth. Now this gentleman, he epitomizes the hierarchy of law enforcement throughout California and the United States, that you can trust people like Ahmad Sakr, that he is here to make Islam kinder and gentler and to help America. And also with Ingrid Mattson of past presidency of Islamic Society of North America. And for proof, I'm showing now people who have been fooled. There's a verse in the Bible that states something that even the very elect might be fooled. Well, here's a guy that may or may not be elect, but he was certainly fooled, Rick Warren. Now, it's not just the sheriff of LA who's doing this, but also, or I'm not just the police, but the sheriff. Clip number 11, clip number 11.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum. I'm deeply regretful that I cannot be with you this evening. As you listen to my message, I'm either in Qatar, Abu Dhabi, or Egypt, meeting with my Arab law enforcement colleagues. We are working on strategies of cooperation, public safety, and education on a worldwide basis. I want to thank CARE for the friendship that has been extended to me in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Executive Director Hussam Aloush and the staff are exceptional representatives of the Muslim.
That's very interesting. Here is Sheriff Baca here, and he mentioned in that clip the Muslim Brotherhood group, Council on American Islamic Relations, and he mentioned Hussam Aloush. Very fascinating to me that the sheriff of LA County would be working with Muslim Brotherhood here. Look at the 4 fingers, and then he's got that other symbol here. Here's a picture of Sheriff Baca in the middle with 2 girls wearing their Muslim garments. Now this next picture is a picture This is the picture of Erdogan, who's in charge of Turkey, who actively aids and abets and supports the ISIS. And you can see over here, you can see the four fingers right there, which is the same, very same exact symbol as the leader of the Council on American Islamic Relations, right there, having the four fingers there, four fingers there, four fingers there. You can see the connection. And now, so we got the sheriff has been fooled, and Michael Downing, the LAPD gentleman, was completely fooled also, thinking that the Muslim Brotherhood has gotten better, and then you have Rick Warren thinking that it's gotten better. These are Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, and we started off with the clip, see the four fingers, we started off the clip where the Muslim Brotherhood were indeed attacking the people, the innocent people in Egypt. Now this next clip shows you step by step how Islam becomes more and more aggressive towards us. Clip number 2. Clip number 2.
If you live in the West and are concerned with Islam and the Islamization of your country, this video has a message for you. What Islam is Not was published in the frontpagemagazine.com on April 21, 2008, and is an adaptation from a book written by Dr. Peter Hammond, Slavery, Terrorism, and Islam. What Islam is Not. Islam is not a religion, nor is it a cult. In its fullest form, it is a complete, total, 100% system of life. Islam has religious, legal, political, economic, social, and military components. The religious component is a beard for all of the other components. Islamization begins when there are sufficient Muslims in a country to agitate for their religious rights. When politically correct, tolerant, and culturally diverse societies agree to Muslim demands for their religious rights, some of the other components tend to creep in as well. Here's how it works. As long as the Muslim population remains around or under 2% in any given country, they will be, for the most part, regarded as a peace-loving minority and not as a threat to other citizens. This is the case in United States, Australia, Canada, China, Italy, and Norway. At 2 to 5%, they begin to convert from other ethnic minorities and disaffected groups, often with major recruiting from the jails and among street gangs. This is happening in Denmark, Germany, United Kingdom, Spain, and Thailand. From 5% on, they exercise an excessive influence in proportion to their percentage of the population. For example, they will push for the introduction of halal food, which is clean food by Islamic standards, thereby securing food preparation jobs for Muslims. They will increase pressure on supermarket chains to feature halal on their shelves, along with threats for failure to comply. This is occurring in France, Philippines, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Trinidad and Tobago. At this point, they will work to get the ruling government to allow them to rule themselves within their ghettos under Sharia, the Islamic law. The ultimate goal of the Islamists is to establish Sharia law over the entire world. When Muslims approach 10% of the population, they tend to increase lawlessness as a means of complaint about their conditions. In Paris, we are already seeing car burnings. Any non-Muslim action offends Islam and results in uprisings and threats, such as in Amsterdam and in other Western cities, with opposition to Muhammad cartoons and films exposing Islam. Such tensions are seen daily, particularly in Muslim sections in Guyana, India, Israel, Kenya, and Russia. After reaching 20%, nations can expect hair-trigger riding, jihad militia formations.
Now that is exactly 1,400 years of Islam, how they work step by step by step, bringing in, creating things to lie to people like they did to Ingrid Mattson Ingrid Mattson's converted, and she was the head of the Muslim Brotherhood, bringing in Dr. Sakr and whatnot. The 2002 mosques in the United States, about 240 in California. And again, what did Muhammad do? Number 40, you can go on YouTube and you can watch these in more detail at your own leisure. What did Muhammad do? Notice the spelling, M-O-H-A-M-M-E-D. Should be easy for you to still shot it on your TV or write that down. What did Muhammad do? Number 40, M-O-H-A-M-M-E-D. Now, I've been doing this for years. Years ago, about 10 years ago, this is a CIA flyer that was passed out in California about 7 or 8, 9 years ago that I got from a magazine sponsored by the CIA. They're going to a known enclave of terrorists in Southern California. In fact, the police pulled me aside and told me I had to leave, not because I was wrong, but because they were afraid they couldn't protect me, that everybody at this festival was a terrorist, and if I kept it up, they would solve the problem by killing me, which is how they solve all solutions. I had a retired diplomat, State Department with me. This is the CIA looking for translators from that particular festival. In this hand here, I have the now current leader of the CIA who supports this, and he thinks Islam's the greatest thing in the world. He works with the Zakat Foundation, Islamic Society of North America, as I showed with Ingrid Mattson and with Rick Warren. Very fascinating guy. Some people think he converted to Islam. I don't know. But the key is that the CIA and the other 15 intelligence agencies are operating the same way, looking for translators in the known community in the world. Now, a lot of you are thinking out there, well, gee, I really don't really care or whatnot. Well, you will care, because we saw in that video there, when they go between 10% and 20%, and in America they're only 1%, in France they're 8%, and they're on the verge of civil war right now. Remember, they murdered Charlie Hebdo a few months ago. One mosque was taken over by non-Muslims. You can call them Islamophobes if you want, doesn't bother me any. All a phobe means is a fear or obsession with, and frankly, I am afraid of Islam, so I guess I am an Islamophobe, but then any sane person would be once you understand how dangerous Islam is, unlike the commander of counterterrorism for LAPD, Michael Downing, actually actively aiding and abetting and working with them. This is here, we have the leader of the Islamic Society of North America, Muslim Brotherhood, who was the president before Ingrid Mattson. Here he's giving a Quran to George W. Bush. This is George W. Bush. And by the way, we will show clips next week where George Bush says that we all worship the same God as do the Muslims. Of course, those of us who are Christians know that's not true. In fact, most atheists know that's not true. This is George W. Bush with the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood group called Council on American Islamic Relations, Nihad Awad. That's George W. Bush. Very fascinating. Here is Nihad Awad. Again, in this clip, or this picture here, the leader of Council on American Islamic Relations for all the United States. He is Muslim Brotherhood. The flag here is the flag of Hezbollah, and I expanded it here and made it bigger. The sword, or the gun of Hezbollah, which means the party of God. Clip number 3. Clip number 3, and we're about done.
I'm Stacey Dooley, and this is Luton, where I was born. I went to school here. I even worked at the airport, and then I moved away. But now I'm coming home to find out if it's true that Muslim extremists are taking over my town. It didn't take long to witness firsthand the extremism I'd been hearing about. wasn't sure what they were marching for, but tensions were running high.
Okay, so we began the show with showing the 2002 mosques in the United States. Almost 100% of them are funded by the Saudi Arabia, who is pushing the Muslim Brotherhood and supports ISIS. Why would Saudi Arabia support ISIS? Because they're both Sunnis. And why is ISIS attacking up in Syria? Because they're mostly Shiites. And in Iraq today, they're led by Shiites. And of course, Iran is led by Shiites. Now, I showed the picture of Dr. Sakr, who in the 1960s was a president and the founder of the Muslim Student Association, which morphed into the Islamic Society of North America, and how Rick Warren actually went and aided and abetted and worked and helped them. There's this picture. We showed the clip of him at the Islamic Society of North America, which is a Muslim group. So we're going to close out. We'll show what we can on this clip here. We won't get very far, but we will continue this next week. So clip number 7. There you go. There's George W. Bush sword dancing with the guys that chop off people's head. They are the true What Did Mohammed Do? And until next week, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back with lots and lots of more pictures of Republicans, of Democrats, of church leaders, of sheriffs, and police aiding and abetting Muslim Brotherhood in the United States. Until then, adieu.
في كتير طرق وسط الحياة تاهوا فيها ناس، وطرق تبان مفروشة ورد وتنتهي بألم وضيق، لكن الطريق للفرحة وطريق الخلاص عند المسيح. أصل المسيح هو الحياة، هو الطريق.